Dr. Gantasatishkumar, Faculty of Law, to give a presentation.
So, today we are going to discuss about the impersonation and fraud and the concerned legal framework in India. So, today in this seminar we are going to understand the legal framework and prevention strategies for the investors. So, today we will dissect how India's legal framework tackles phishing and impersonation frauds with cybercrime rising by 24% in 2023 as per the NCRB data. Understanding these laws is critical for legal practitioners, for businessmen and citizens alike. In 2021, India reported over 50,000 cyber fraud cases. But how does the law tackle such offences? So it's growing up in a rampant way. So without curtailing those crimes and without having a proper legal provisions and by following some landmark judgments, and we face always some practical challenges in combating impersonation and fraud. This presentation aims to shed light on critical issues surrounding impersonation and fraud within the context of Indian laws. We will explore the definitions, legal framework, laws, enforcement agencies and strategies for prevention and enforcement. In this presentation, we will begin with an introduction to impersonation and fraud and the types, discussing their definitions and methods. We will then delve into the legal framework that exists in India, examining the key regulations and laws. Following this, we will analyze some case laws and judicial interpretations, followed by the roles of enforcement agencies. The ineffectiveness of existing laws to encompass the complexities of digital impersonation is particularly concerning as they continue to grow on. Now, as the earlier speakers have stated, most of the trading is now into the online sector. Earlier there used to be an offline. It was very difficult for them. Of course, even they did so by using some forged documents and impersonating as a public servant, and also we will look into these cases also. They used to do so, but as of now, it has become an easy task for the cyber criminals to impersonate and to commit frauds. So, what is impersonation? So, impersonation involves assuming the identity of another person to deceive others. This can involve using someone else's name, like credentials or some personal information, to gain unauthorized benefits. So, methods of impersonation include hacking or identity theft. So, it goes on and the list continues. So, what actually impersonation is defined and where it is defined is, it is defined under section 319 of Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. As per the latest amended law, Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita is the mother of all the criminal laws. So, and as per the 319, which involves claiming a false identity, fraudulently using another person's credentials and misrepresenting oneself to obtain the benefit or to cause harm. And the punishment is up to 5 years and fine or both. So, this is the penalty provision for the impersonation. And as we have seen, there are different types of impersonations, like as I have told you, the identity theft, and which is used to gain some financial in a financial ways, and even they are using the social engineering also. As our earlier speaker Suresh Garu has suggested you, intimated you about the things. They are using the fake IDs or the fake screenshots or the fake data, so as to master you, so as to guide you that this is the thing that you have to choose in the market list. This is the thing, these are the things which are going to gain high profits. As so, they will be sharing you some false information, and they will be trying to impersonate, and they will be trying to make you to commit some fraudulent events also. Unknowingly, without you don't have the knowledge of it, just when you click on that button, you will be resulting in ending up a financial loss. So, fraud. As a fraud, it's a broader term. Many of the law students know, because as the fraud is defined under section 17 of the Indian Contract Act, it includes any act committed to deceive another party or to induce them to enter into a contract. Unknowingly, without your knowledge also, they can do so. the cyber of criminals has gone or tackling these at a higher level. Even without your consent, without your knowledge also, you are prone to such attacks. So, fraud is also covered under section 318 of Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 2023. So, common methods. See, we all know daily we will be receiving in our spam folder or into your mobiles through WhatsApp or through social media also. Daily you will be receiving a link. You might not be aware of it, but generally if we observe it, daily on an average, there is a survey, it has been done. It posts that for every single second, more than 556 emails are being sent as a phishing mails. So, even if you don't have the knowledge, when you click on it, it will end up in giving an access to your system or giving an access to your mobile, and the list goes on. So, through these phishing scams, it is one of the most online committed frauds, and through forgery techniques also. It includes like creating fake documents or alerting legitimate ones who can lead to severe financial and reputational damages. So, an online scams, it's on the peak level. If you observe it, there are many fraudulent schemes, including the auction schemes, the betting promotion of betting apps, lottery scams, and fake charities are aimed at stealing money from the victims. Understanding these methods helps individuals and businesses to safeguard themselves against the potential fraud attempts. So, what's the legal framework? So, are we covered? Do we have any protection? So, if we look into the protection, India has established a comprehensive legal framework to address impersonation and fraud. This framework includes various laws and provisions aimed at preventing and penalizing such offences. India's legal framework is a mix of colonial era laws like the IPC, of course it has been replaced by the new code, Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, and the other modern statutes includes Aadhaar Act to address evolving fraud tactics. Then there are few other laws also like the Companies Act 2013, Aadhaar Act 2016, Consumer Protection Act, Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002, that's called PMLA. So these are the laws which will help, which will protect the citizens. If any victim is if he has faced any financial loss issues or if any fraud attempts has been taken place, these are the remedies. Under these laws, we can be protected. So, if you look into this deeper, as it is the bedrock or the criminal law, for the bedrock of the criminal law. So, these are the provisions, relevant sections in the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. So, impersonation of public servants. As we all know, if you have observed, we are all aware that recently deepfake is one of the most commonly used cyber offense. So they are imposing that taking the role or identity of a particular person, might be a public servant, and sometimes they claim to be a CBI officer, sometimes they claim to be an enforcement directorate officer, and they do make a setup through the video call or so you will be in an impression that this is the real officers are calling us, and many people, even they haven't left our Prime Minister also. See how far the thing is going on. So we have to curtail all this, but unfortunately the deepfake, as these are continuously evolving. If you look into this section 204, personating a public servant, so just the imprisonment is of 6 months and may extend to 3 years and fine. So it's just 6 months, up to 6 months only, or sometimes it may extend to 3 years also. But the thing what happens here is, so for such type of offenses, the IT Act is not in a situation to address these kind of crimes. There is no like a residuary section. So if you look into this 205, just if anyone wears a garb or carrying the ID cards of a public servant, it just extends to 3 months or fine, and the fine is of only 5,000 rupees. So see, there is a huge gap in these penaling offense. In the penaling provisions also. So if you look into the cheating and fraud, which are dealt under 318 and 319, the imprisonment is of 3 years, and for the cheating by personation, it extends to 5 years and of fine. Coming to the forgery part, the section 336 deals with forgery, and 340 deals with the forged document or electronic record and using it as a genuine. For this, it depends upon the kind of forgery document, whether it is it may extend up to 7 to 10 years of imprisonment. So if you could look, these laws, this helps in evaluating as the legal precedents, and the earlier judgments will also help in identifying, it shows a path for the enforcement authorities and for the lawyers also, how to tackle those cases. So Ramjas versus State of Uttar Pradesh, it's in the 1974 case. The facts: accused posed as a government officer to collect for a fake scheme. So he was held convicted under 419 of IPC for personation. In the state, in coming to the next case, it's in the state of Maharashtra versus Chandrakant T. Patel, 2000. Accused posed as a police officer to extort money, and he was held convicted under 170 of IPC, and strict liability was imposed for impersonating such authority. Why I have been discussing these two are due to the, as we have seen, these are the current market trends. Like these two things are in the news as of now. That using the deepfake apps or so using some AI software, they are posing that they are the real officials. So this is the thing going on. So I want all you to be aware of these sections and case laws. And Sushi in versus CBI in 2011, he forged some signatures on property documents. So this case set a precedent in Indian criminal law, how courts interpret forgery under IPC. Apart from this, this is the criminal law part, and apart from this, when it is related to the technology, when it is related to the any electronic gadgets, or let it be a mobile phone or a system or whatever the thing, any electronic gadget, it is covered under the provisions of Information Technology Act. The Information Technology Act plays a crucial role in shaping the digital landscape by establishing a legal framework for electronic communication. Additionally, this act addresses the growing concern of cyber crimes, providing legal protection against such offences. So, Section 66 of the Act is significant as it specially targets computer-related offences and outlining the legal measures to combat the crimes. So, this is the one of the, for the today's session, this is the one of the section which is purely related. It is Section 66C deals with the identity theft. It deals like someone of your friend or someone, when you go to the internet cafe, or even when you don't use the, earlier in those days when we are studying, or in about 10 years back, so when we go to the internet cafe, they used to steal our passwords, they used to collect the information, online sites which we have visited and all that. But the thing, the days have changed. The cyber criminals have moved to a greater extent. Now, by sitting at their home or the place of their choice, they are capable of capturing your entire data. Whatever the data, even whatever the keystrokes you are giving also, they are capturing it. They are collecting such information. So, for those such consequences, Section 66C outlines the legal ramifications for individuals guilty of such crimes. For that, the punishment is 3 years of imprisonment and up to 1 lakh fine. And Section 66 deals with the punishment for cheating by personation using computer resources. So today's topic, it's about the SEBI and the market investigators and the investing programs and all that. So this section stands as a backbone for the protecting them, because everyone who are into the markets or who are into the investing, and they do their trading and all those activities through a computer source. So for this, it involves a person claiming a person's identity, that he will not be going to the, and you all know, some of you might have shared your trading ID and password to the other agents also. What do we think is generally, okay, they will be trading our assets, so we will be ending up in huge profits. But the scenario is going to be an total opposite to that. So for the legal consequences, if they try to cheat you, or if someone has taken out your the passwords or emails without your consent, so this section imposes some penalties on the individuals. So for this also, the punishment is of around 3 years and 1 lakh up to fine. So, and apart from this, section 43 deals with the unauthorized access, hacking and data theft, and section 72 deals with breach of confidentiality and privacy. These two are the sections which stands as the residuary sections. Like in some cases, with the help of these two sections, they file a case against them. So there are many other laws and regulations also, like the Companies Act 2013, section 447 deals with the corporate fraud for false bank statements and Ponzi schemes. The punishment would be of around 6 months and up to 10 years of imprisonment with fine. So you all know the Satyam Ramalingaraju's case. So it belongs to this sector. So he has inflated the revenues of around $1.5 billion. So this led to strict corporate fraud laws under the Companies Act 2013. Aadhaar Act 2016. We all, there is a huge debate that went on whether we should give our data or they are capturing our information and fingerprints and all that, the biometric data and all that. But even there are incidents that took place, like they have used in Jharkhand Aadhaar scam case that reflected in 2020. The fake fingerprints were used to divert the substrate grains for the Aadhaar linked schemes. Of course, that ended in conviction for of arresting 17 criminals who did those crimes, and even with the IPC, fraud provisions were also linked with this, so as to give a greater impact to that. And the Consumer Protection Act, Consumer Protection Act 2019, it's for the false advertising and misrepresentation. Section 2 claims who are under the coverage of false advertising and misleading trade practices, consumers can claim a compensation up to 1 crore. For this, there is a landmark case, the Hindustan Unilever Limited, Dharmapeetam Kumar. It's in the year 2019. So the facts relating to this case was, they claimed about the act's deodorant effectiveness, but the court upheld his decision and imposed a 10 lakh fine for misleading the consumers. So, and apart from that, as our VC, Honorable VC sir has also spoke about those things like the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. This has become, they have, as I have told you, they are in the next level, like they have gone ahead. So they are using cryptocurrencies also. At that point of time, these PMLA, Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002, encounters such crimes, and it empowers the authorities to confiscate the property derived from fraudulent activities and imposes strict penalties. So generally they will be in crores only. So even there is a famous case law also, it's relating to the Chidambaram, P. Chidambaram versus CBI INX media case. So case laws and judicial precedents always play a vital role in shaping and understanding the application of laws regarding impersonation and fraud. So analyzing these cases will help us in deeper insights to have a greater legal interpretation and outcomes. So several landmark cases have certain important precedents and judicial responses and complex, they help in solving the complex legal issues also. So if you look into this analysis of judicial interpretations, a few of the case laws, State of Tamil Nadu versus Suhas Kuti, it's the first conviction under the IT Act. The accused Suhas Kuti created a fake profile of the victim and posted obscene messages leading to harassment and defamation. The victim lodged a complaint leading to an investigation. So under this case, the IT Act 2000 and BNS section 318 was taken into consideration, and for creating such fake profiles, so she got convicted. And I have given a short period of time, so I have to conclude, so I am rushing up with. So next. So what are the things that we have to consider? The thing is, cyber harassment laws should be so stricter with increased penalties under BNS, and money laundering via cyber fraud is more closely monitored by the PMLA, and the crypto-based frauds are rising concern. So earlier they used to be, it would be easy for the authorities also to catch out the criminals, because they will be transferring into some other bank who don't know that from where they got, what is the source. They don't have any information, they will not be having any information. But of course, these cyber criminals used to take out that money without their knowledge also. But addressing awareness and digital literacy is essential in preventing a cyber fraud. So these are the roles, but the main problems which the authorities are facing as of now is they lack cyber forensic skills. And many judicial conflicts are also going on, because due to the jurisdictional concepts and due to the extraterritorial treaties also, it is harder for the enforcement authorities to curb those crimes, and to handle the criminals. It has become a hectic task for them. So these are the cyber crimes, and their importance is to establish some enforcement units, and the expertise and the combat modern forms of fraud has to be taken up. So these are the steps. You can have a glance of it. When the incident occurs, the victim reports the crime. The incident occurs maybe due to fake websites or emails or social media or fraudulent phone calls, and after that the victims report the crime. So the investigation begins. So again, they will be analyzing the call records and all that. And in the next section, the Criminal Act and the IT Act comes into the play. So depending upon the gravity of the offense and the nature of the offense, the sections will come into the action. So further investigation goes on, and the case moves to trial. So the strategies for the prevention is, many of the fraudsters operate from different foreign locations, and the cyber cells lack to track the sophisticated frauds. They don't know, they are not in a situation without the technology. It is very hard for them to tackle such offenses, and delayed legal proceedings also is one of the reasons, and it takes years to resolve. And public awareness gap is also one of the main issue for these crimes to grow up. So as we have seen, the strategies for this is to increase more punishments. So the gravity of depending upon the gravity of the offense, the punishment and the imprisonment has to be increased, and the imposing of fines are to be made according to the market scenario. So stricter penalties and support for the victims are the policy recommendations. And with this, I conclude my session. Thank you. Thank you for all. Thanks for giving this opportunity.